Hi everybody, and welcome back. I'm Betty with Betty's Creative Boutique, and today I wanted to show you how to make a really cute little shadow box. It's not only a shadow box, but it's also a little nightlight. So I went to Hobby Lobby actually at the beginning of the pandemic, and I bought a whole bunch of these. They were on sale at that time. They do go on sale, I think, pretty much every month, honestly. But if you cannot find them on sale, they always have a 40% off coupon on anything that is not on sale. So if you went there and these weren't on sale, you can get on the App Store and look for Hobby Lobby in your App Store. If you don't have an App Store, you can just go online and look for Hobby Lobby and put Hobby Lobby coupon in. Hobby Lobby will pop up. Go down to where it says coupons, click on the coupon, and a 40% off coupon will come up. So anyway, so I got a 9x9 shadow box, and I'm going to take the back off it and set it to the side for a second. And I'm going to take, so there's little pieces inside here. There's this little square piece. I'm going to just set it on the side, and then you can pull your glass out. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to pull my glass out, and I'm going to clean it real good. And to clean it, I'm going to use rubbing alcohol. And I'm going to try to be real careful because some of the products that I'm going to be using today, if they get wet with anything, especially something like rubbing alcohol, well, one of the products, it will ruin it. So I'm going to be real careful how I pour it, which it's so full, it just squeezed out anyway. So I'm just going to close that back up. It squeezed out onto my thing anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and just clean that off real quick. And I'll just make sure when we use that product that I don't set it over there. So I do have a funny story. I've already done this video once. I went through and I set up, well, I had done a video before it, and I had forgot to use my microphone. And so that video turned out just fine because I didn't have my microphone on, and I was talking loud, I guess, during it anyway. So thank God that one turned out good. Well, when I went to look at the other video, let me make sure this looks clear. It had no sound because what I had done was I had put my microphone in the computer, and then I had put the other part on me, and I never turned them on. And so instead of it being just done without a microphone, it was done in silent. There was no sound at all through the whole thing. So hopefully this one will turn out good. And it worked out okay because a lot of the products that I bought are from Dollar Tree, and they were things that I had to break in half to fit in here anyway, so I have the other half of them all. So that worked out really well. Okay, so now I'm putting my glass back in. I was cleaning it with rubbing alcohol because that really does a good job. So I did that. I'm going to try to get whatever's wet over here off if I can. Okay, so now our next step is going to be, I put down a couple pieces of wax paper on top of my rubber tablecloths. I know if you guys have been watching me at all, you know that I use rubber tablecloths. I have the same two. It's a really old Valentine one that's all beat up. It's got cotton underneath and rubber on top, and then a rubber tablecloth that I put over the top. Because stuff does still get through some of them, like this one has a little bit of holes, so I use two. But this time I'm going to put wax paper on top of that, because I'm going to take the back of our shadow box and I'm going to pull the little sign off. It's on here with a couple of pins. I'm going to throw the pins out right away because I don't want anyone to step on them. Okay, so then we're going to take this paper. I got it $1 at the Dollar Tree, and it is a cellophane, like a see-through clear blue cellophane. And so I was going to put that on the back of our shadow box. So what I'm going to do is lay it down, and I'm just going to take my scissors, and I'm just going to cut around it real quick. It doesn't have to be perfect because it can we're going to glue it on, and I'll push it down the sides also. We do want it to cover the whole front though, but if it's a little too long, that's okay. So this is the stuff, this cellophane, that if I set it in somewhere where the rubbing alcohol is, I found this out the first time that I made this, it will start to like disintegrate and the color comes off it and everything. It gets real ugly. So I'm going to set that to the side because we are going to need that in a little bit again. And then I'm going to go ahead and lift this up, and I'm going to recut a little bit of it to make it fit a little bit better, just right here, and maybe down the side a little bit more. Okay. Then next, I'm going to take the spray adhesive. The brand of it is Loctite. And this one, I usually have to run it through hot water because I use it all the time. And when you spray it out, it gets stuck on there so that the little hole gets all jammed up. So I'm going to go ahead and rinse it off. Hopefully it won't do that. I'm going to set this farther away until I spray my Loctite. And that's why I'm using the wax paper, because I knew I was going to be spraying the spray glue. So I'm going to spray that on. I'm going to be kind of generous because the back of this it's a material, it's not a wood. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this and set it on here and just push it down. Okay. So next, what I thought I'd do, I didn't do this on the last one, but you know, I'm always telling you guys I am a glitter freak, so I'm going to use a little bit of glitter, just a little. And a little bit of this. I've had this for a long time. They're called snowflakes. They usually sell them anywhere. This one says it was from Michael's. It says it right on the back. But I bought it years ago. But I'm sure that, I mean, they sell this kind of stuff everywhere. So I'm going to just spray this a little bit on the top, just enough to where some of this should stick. And just take a little bit. I don't want a ton of it. So there we go. And then I'm going to take a couple of these bigger flakes and put them on here also. And then I'm going to push each of the really big flakes down. The other stuff should stick good, but all right. I think I will try to trim this up just a little bit more. Now that we've glued it on there, I'm going to just trim it off a little bit more. Okay, so once I'm done with this, I'm going to go ahead and set this to the side. Okay. So far it just looks like this with a little bit of snow and glitter. It's not much. I don't want a ton because everything that I put in here is going to be white, and so I don't want it to get lost with too much snow. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my shadow box, and now we don't really need this anymore. I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way until we might need it later. I don't think so though. Okay, so now I'm going to take my glue gun and I'm going to get some glue sticks out because I know I'm going to need more than just that one glue stick. So I'm going to set them all to the side. And we're going to start by putting our lights in. Seems to work out best this way. So what I do is I take and I find the very first light, and I put it in a corner. I'm going to put it, so, okay, I guess I should show you a couple of things first. So I have, these are the things I'm going to be using. They were whole, and I cut them in, I like pulled them apart, and so that's the other half, and I did the same with this church. Now this, I just had another one of them because they come as a 2-pack. These were all $1 each at the Dollar Tree, including this. This, I had bought a pack of 6 of them, $1 at the Dollar Tree. And then I also bought this cute little sign. It's $1 at the Dollar Tree. I also bought this, $1 at the Dollar Tree. I'm going to go ahead and cut these open. What these do, they protect your fingers when you're using your glue gun. And so I'm going to give them a try and see if I like them. So while this is warming up, I'm going to go ahead and show you. I'm going to be using this on this project too, but I didn't buy a white one. And so I wanted it to be white. So I'm going to pull it apart, and it was also $1 at the Dollar Tree. So I'm going to take this outside and spray it white. But I also bought this. I had bought cute trees from the Dollar Tree that I used in the other one, which I'll show you, you saw in the picture. But I couldn't find them anymore at the Dollar Tree. So this was at Walmart, and it was on clearance. It's got like little things wrong with it. It's missing something here. It's missing something there. And so they actually sold it to me for $2. And I thought, well, later on I can use the truck for something, but right now I need the trees. And so I'm going to try to pull these trees out of here. And if they don't just come out, then I'm going to cut them off. But I think I should be able to get them off. And they're not as white as I wanted them, so I was going to also take those outside and spray them white. But I wanted you to see what I was using before I sprayed them, or I would have had it done already. So it kind of smashed up down there. All right, I might have to cut it off short. Let me grab my wire cutters out of here. I didn't think I was going to need them, but you know what? I don't want to smash this one too, so I'll just use my wire cutters. Oh man, I should have did that in the first place. Okay, so this one I'm just going to have to make him be turned a certain way, actually. All right, so I'm going to take these outside. I think I will cut it off right about here. All right, so I'll be right back. I'm going to go spray these. Don't go anywhere. All right, so I'm going to set these to the side. I carried these in also. This one's still kind of pinky a little. This one was cream, and I put a lot of extra white on it. We'll see how that turns out. I'm going to let those dry. I used the Ultra Cover Paint and Primer by Rust-Oleum. I'm going to wash my hands off. Okay, so now my little glue gun should be ready. Here we go. It is. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take and put our church in here, because our church is going to be in the middle. I'm going to put it right in the middle here. It doesn't have to be perfect, but honestly, it makes it easy, because right here where these little things are that you push up to put your backpack on, I'm just going to put it, I'm going to eye it and put it in the middle of those. And I'm going to try to push it up as far as I possibly can. I actually think I'll put the glue on the bottom of the actual church. And I'm going to put quite a bit on there. Okay. Then just set your church in there and hold it down for a minute or two. Again, it doesn't have to be perfectly in the middle. I'm going to put another glue stick in my gun so it's ready. Okay, so now once you do that, We also are going to need another piece of this blue because we want to put it inside the church. So I'm going to just cut like a little strip. I think this should be kind of good. Let's make it tall enough. And I'm kind of just eyeing it right now. I mean, we have a whole roll, so if it's not enough, we can always go back and put more. But it doesn't have to be perfect. It really doesn't. So then you're going to just slide it in here. I'm going to cut it a little more so that it fits in there good. I'm just kind of trying to cut it about the size of our church. So see, it doesn't have to be perfect because once you push it in there, you can't see the ends of it anyway. You only see what's showing through the little windows of the church. And so I wanted to cover this little hole at the top too. So I'm going to just cut another little piece. And I'm just going to stick it in the top of the church where that little hole is. And you know, maybe I'll put a little tiny dab of glue at the very top of it because that does want to fall out. Okay. Okie doke. So now what we're going to do is work on our lights. And so since I'm using the glue gun, I'm going to go ahead and use these little things. I'm going to try them out. At least one of them. I think I'll do one. Okay, so now we're going to take our lights and we're going to start with the one that's closest to the plug. So here's our plug. We're going to come down. We're going to start with this one. We're going to plop our glue in the corner here. We're going to set our little light in it. We're going to hold it till it dries a little because I learned from the other one that it wants to come up. I'm going to add a little glue actually at the top of it too to hold it on good. All right, so I'm going to let that dry for a second. And we're going to go along and we're going to do every one of them. And then when we get to the church, I'll show you what we do. I'll slow it down and show you what to do. But in the meantime, I'm going to just go around and put all these in. And I'll meet you back here, okay? I know, I'm corny. Okay, so let me show you what I did so far. So I'm going to take it over here and show you guys. So we started here, and I came all the way around, and I went to this, I put one right here, and then I went underneath the church, and then I did one right here. And now what I'm going to do with the rest of these lights is I'm going to put them inside the church. And so I'm just going to take, and I'm going to just start, like one of them, I'm going to put right here. One of them I'm going to put right up in the top. See how it fits kind of nice right in the top of the church? I'll show you. I'm going to glue it real quick so that it stays there. Because they do like to move around on you. All right. So I'm going to just kind of push them all in there. So we're going to use our little trees next. Straighten it out a little. Ooh, this one's still a little wet. Okay. Come on, dry. Okay, so this is what we have so far, what it looks like from the front. Okay, now we're going to take and put our trees in there. I'm going to go ahead and put a nice big glob of glue in here. I'm trying to decide, oh, my light came off. I was trying to decide if I wanted my light behind my tree or in front of it, and I pulled it off. They are easy to pull off until you get it put together. Once it is put together, it's fine. I'll show you mine that's lid over there in a minute. After we get it all together, I'll show you. Okay, so I'm just going to put a glob of glue on the bottom here, because this is where we want to put our tree. So here's our first tree. I'm just going to plop it in there and push down. And I think I'm going to add some more glue on this side too, just to keep it in there. And then it takes a minute to let it dry because you don't want it to fall off. The glue does take a minute, especially when you're putting big globs of it. It takes a minute to let it dry. Okay. You are going to love this. I know it doesn't look like much yet, but you're going to love this. It's so cute. Okay, let me see if I can get my pink one in there too. So I tried to spray it as white as I could get it. So I'm hoping, especially with this, there's snow on the ground and stuff. So I was trying to not set it on the ground. Honestly, I took the things out and I set them in a bush that has lost its leaves. So I set it on the branches to paint it. And now the branches of my bush are all white. But it should be fine next year, next spring. Yeah, they're still wet. So I'm going to wash my hands again real quick. All right, sorry about that. Okay, now we're going to move on to the other parts. So now we can go ahead and get our back ready to go on. But we're also going to put a little bit more snow inside so it's on the ground. So we're just going to take the snow and try to just plunk it down in there on each side and on each side of the tree also. Now once you put it in there, you would think that you can close it up and kind of shake it around and get it to go down where you want it. But it actually doesn't do what you want it to do. It'll all go to one side or stick in spots you don't want it to stick. So try to get it in there before you put the back on. All right, I think that should be good. It's just so it looks snowy. So now we're going to put our back on. My trees are kind of a little bit big. My back has to go this way. Okay. These shadow boxes, they actually also have a hanger on them. So if you wanted to, you could hang it. Okay, so I'm going to lay it down now and close it up. So you just push down all your little tabs to close it up. And you can use anything you want in the shadow box. This is just one example for you guys. Now this last one's kind of hard to push down because I do have the little I do have the little cord hanging out. And so now I want you to see that it kind of sticks out just a tiny bit, but not enough that it makes any difference. And so this is what it looks like so far. Okay, so now we're going to finish it up a little bit more. So I had gotten this cute little deer, and so I'm going to do it like this. So I got this cute little deer, and I was going to put him on one side. So I'm going to put a bunch of glue on him in different spots where I know he'll touch, and then I'm going to stick him on there. He does hide the tree a little, but that's my pink tree, but you can still see that there's a cute tree behind it. Okay, so then what you do is you take, this is like, I did it because I thought it looked like the North Star, and I thought it would be really cute. Let me see how I fixed it. This, and this. Yeah, here we go. So now what I did was I just put some glue on some of the points of the North Star where I knew it was going to stick to the box. And I put it kind of a little off to the side, just a little bit. I didn't want it to be perfectly in the center. I have a globby coming down here. All right. If for some reason it's not sticky enough for you, you can add a little more glue. But now that this is the parts where it's going to really show up, we don't want it to be too globby of glue. I know that sounds funny, but... And then if you have little strings hanging, just pull them off after they're dry. Okay. Oh, we do have a globber. If for some reason there is one, you can pull it off. All right, so that's pretty dry. Now I'm going to show you the next little piece that we'll put on. It's the little snowflake. All right, and then the last thing is the peace sign. It had been that brownish color and I painted it white. We're going to put that on here now. I'm going to lay it down for a second so I can see where it's going to touch. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to just stick it on right there and hold it into place. Oh no, part of my white came off. Oh, you know what? I also have white paint. So I do have my white paint up here too. I wasn't going to do that, but I noticed some of my white came off from my spray paint. All right. It wasn't all the way dry. Okay, that should be good. I just touched it up a little. Okay, I don't think I'm forgetting anything. So let me show you it lit up. Can you see that? Let me go ahead and turn this big spotlight off. It's so cute. I hope you guys like it. It's so cute. Let me grab my other one and I'll show you what that looks like too. Honestly, I did them about the same way, so they should pretty much look the same. But here we go. Push it in this way. So here's the two lights. I think they turned out really cute. 1, 2. I like the Dollar Tree trees though, because they are whiter and brighter. So next year, I'm going to show you that a little better. Next year I will definitely get more of those. I hope you guys can see it well. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please like and share. I would appreciate any subscribers because that's what keeps me going. Okay, you guys, have a great night, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.